Hi, it's Dorothy Guining with Scrapbooking Quebec, and today I'm absolutely thrilled and honored to be participating in Moira O'Reilly's 1000 Subby Party and giveaway. Not only is Moira a talented scrapbooker, she is a pillar in the North American, if not international, scrapbooking community. You're going to find links to tons of inspiration below, but I do recommend you start with Moira's channel because there is a giveaway, and that is where you're going to find the information. Now, here is what I'm going to be using today, and most of it's from Stampin' Up, and they are leftovers from a page I created on YouTube yesterday, and there will be a link to that below as well. What I'm doing today is creating page 2 of a double page layout. So I'm going to kind of walk you through my thought process of creating a complementary page, which is a little bit different than creating a double page spread, a classic double page spread, where the two pages are treated like one giant canvas. In this case, page 1 has already been created. So I'm showing you what I have on my desk here, and probably the most important thing is the page that I made yesterday, because that is where I'm going to be drawing most of my inspiration from. I added 4 photos, and I have a lot of the same material on my desk. The same color cardstock that's in the foundation page, scraps of printed paper, and I have some of the same tools. Probably what's most noteworthy here is when I create a design type page, that's the one I did yesterday, typically the complementary page has more photos and is simpler to create. I still want the focus to be on that design page that I first made, but these are just additional photos and a bit more of the story that I want to add. Anyway, what you see me doing now is adhering 3 of the 4 photos to the right side of this white cardstock. And when I have a page where I have 3 photos in the same direction, this is kind of a classic design for me. So once those are adhered, I'm going to fill in the rest of that with mostly black and a little bit of blue paper. So my foundation page that I'm creating today is white, black with a little bit of blue, just like the page I created yesterday, but it's completely different. And when I create a complementary page on a double page spread, that is often the case. They are completely different, but they do still relate to one another, and I'll talk more about that throughout the process. So I'm going to adhere this border to the page, and I am putting measurements for all of this on the screen, but I would like to point out this is so adaptable. For example, my horizontal photos, I could have cut them down shorter, and I just would have made that black border larger. Now I'm looking at page 1 for inspiration, and on that page there's this layered messy photo mat with that printed paper. That's new from Stampin' Up. So I'm going to basically repeat the same thing on the right page, on the page I'm creating today. So I'm creating more or less a messy photo mat with the same papers, only it's going to be smaller. I don't want it to be exactly the same, but I want them to be related. So I'm taking inspiration from page 1. Again, I'm putting measurements for this on the screen, but basically what's important here are the scraps that you have on your desk. What I do when I make one of these messy mats, the sizes typically depend on the scraps that I have on my desk. So I'm playing around with that. Once I'm happy with it, I'm going to adhere it to the page. It's going to touch that border on the right just a little bit without covering up any important parts of the page. And then what I'm going to do in a minute is once again look at the page 1 for inspiration. Now when I'm looking at that page, I created 2 banners, 2 borders, banner things there, and it has the word Our City stamped on it. I'm going to do the same thing and put that on page 2, the page I'm creating today. But what I'm going to do is just add one of them. So not only am I using the principle of repetition in design, I'm also using visual triangle. By placing one more banner on this right-hand side, I'm essentially creating a visual triangle which guides the eye across the 2 pages. So now what you see me doing is placing around playing around, with placement of this banner. And now I'm taking that stamp set, the same one I used yesterday, and I'm just scattering the letters on one block, stamping it out, and it's going to say downtown. And I'm not worried about placement here because I'm going to come in with that small 3/8 of an inch circle punch and punch out the letters. So I really love using my punches for this reason, because I don't have to worry about if the letters are placed perfectly on the page. So once I have all that punched out, what I'm going to do is take foam adhesive and I'm going to pop up each letter on each little banner, and then I'm actually going to add some foam adhesive behind each banner, and then you'll see in a minute I'm going to add string. So basically what I'm doing is repeating the same decoration that I created on the original page, and I'm positioning it on this page so that it creates a visual triangle and guides the eye across the two pages. Another thing I'd like to point out, the page I'm creating today, I'm creating it as a complimentary page. However, it does have photos, it will have text, and it has a title and a bit of decorations. It can stand alone. If I were to create this page as a single page layout, I would add more embellishing, but at this point I'm not going to, because it's a complimentary page, and the page I created yesterday was more design. I want to kind of keep it as my focal point, which actually, when you look at the original page, there's all this stamping that I did, and you can see that in the process that I did yesterday. On purpose, I decided not to add that stamping to this page because I felt it would be too distracting. I felt like there would be two major decorations, embellishment clusters, competing against each other. I still want to keep that main design page, it's the focal point. Now what you see me doing is adding journaling lines on this photo at the bottom, which is not something you see me do too often. But in this case, it's not a very good photo and there's a lot of empty space there. So I'm just taking that Echo Park stencil. I think it's the Home Away collection. I'll list the tools I use in the information box below in case you're interested. Anyway, I put lines there. I stopped the camera and added journaling, so it kind of has that funky urban look, which is kind of going on this layout. And finally, I'm going in with some enamel dots, which is part of this new In Color collection from Stampin' Up. On the original page, underneath that foot photo, there are 3 dots. So I'm just adding 2 more spots on this page with 3 dots, and essentially again creating another visual triangle. So I'm keeping this page simple because it is a complimentary page and I'm okay with that. But like I said, if this were a page, a standalone page, I'd probably add some stitching and a little bit more decorations. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to Scrapbooking Quebec, I would be absolutely thrilled if you did. And also, be sure to check out the other participants below, especially Moira's channel. She has a giveaway going on, and you'll find all about that there. Thank you so much and have a great day.